we have conducting a very important event on National Workshop on Ocean Energy and Water for Sustainable Future 2026. This important event is conducted under series of UNESCO chair activity from the Department of Green Energy Technology, Pondicherry University, and this event especially in partnership with National Institute of Ocean Technology, NIOT, Chennai. Today, we are facing major issues which include a climate change. Because of the climate change issues, several other relevant issues are coming up. Yes, the most of our energy comes from carbon-based fuels like coal, crude oil, and carbon-based gaseous fuels. Of course, the energy is very important thing for the development goal. However, we could see that we have compromised our very basic need of air, water, and food. Today, we are trying to find out the best air for our breathing, and today we are trying to find out the best water for our drinking, and our agricultural land is also get polluted and the cultivations are becoming difficult. Though India agriculture is the backbone. So considering all these things, we have to committed to find solution so that our basic needs of air, water and food is not compromised, at least from here onwards. In this line, we are working in such a way so that our energy production, that means the future energy production, should come towards non-carbon based fuels like solar, wind, bioenergy, nuclear energy also, and very importantly, an untapped huge potential of ocean energy and water is there. So in this line, today's event is very important for our students, faculties and the participants, where they will be able to get a knowledge about the untapped potential of ocean energy and water. As we know, India has a very long coastal line of more than 7,500 kilometers. That means the potential is huge. Ocean has a huge amount of energy through wave, tide and integrated solar, wind turbines through offshore, and it has a tremendous amount of potential to provide a very clean and safe water.
I am Malavika Sunil, and alongside me is Mr. Sudhanshu Pandey. Together we are the research scholars from the Department of Green Energy Technology, UNESCO Madanji School of Green Energy Technologies, Pondicherry University. It is indeed our privilege and honor to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you on behalf of the UNESCO Chair activity of this prestigious gathering. On-day workshop on Ocean Energy and Water for Sustainable Future Potential and Challenges 2026, Samudra Shakti, Sustainable Seas Through Advanced Technology, Department of Green Energy Technology, Madanji School of Green Energy Technologies, Pondicherry University, in collaboration with National Institution of Ocean Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, bringing together academia, policy and advanced technology. The one-day national workshop on Ocean Energy and Water Sustainable for Future, OEWSF 2026, focuses on the harnessing ocean-based resources as a transformative pathway for large-scale sustainable clean energy and water solutions. By leveraging advanced technology in wave, tidal, and ocean thermal energy systems, along with innovative water management approaches, this domain supports India's goal in energy security, climate resilience, and sustainable development. This workshop provides a national platform for experts, researchers, policymakers, and young scholars and students to deliberate on the emerging technologies, key challenges, and future strategies for advanced ocean and water sustainability.
one-day national workshop on ocean energy and water for a sustainable future. This being conducted is one of the important event under UNESCO chair activity by the Department of Green Energy Technology, Pondicherry University, in partnership one of the national important institute of National Institute of Ocean Technology, NIOT, Chennai. The climate change is a major issue, largely driven by carbon-based fuels, coal, crude oil, and carbon-based gaseous fuels, where energy comes from. Of course, energy plays a very important role in our rapid growth and development of a nation. However, at what cost do our very basic needs get compromised? Today, our air is increasingly unbreathable. Our water is unsafe for drink. Without treatment, nowadays we are not taking our water. Very basic, but it's unfortunate. And our land is becoming polluted and becoming less cultivable, which is an agriculture country. We are all, backbone is our agriculture. So thus, it is our collective responsibility to act and find suitable solutions. As you know, India is projected to remain the world's fastest growing nation with a GDP of average of 8 to 10% in coming years. To support our growth, energy and water definitely going to play an important role. As you all aware, India is an energy hungry nation because we need to develop fast, so you need energy. Also water, India is very stressed nation for water. But we have huge water in the ocean, so I believe clean water could be coming more from our ocean. At the same time, we must address our carbon emission and challenges of climate change. Currently, more than 55 to 60% of our energy comes from carbon-based fuels. And we are very fortunate to see our nation is moving forward to non-carbon fuels, around 45% already, through solar, wind, bioenergy, and of course now nuclear we are pushing forward, and similarly ocean will also be coming forward to help us in terms of having a non-carbon fuel. Though India has reached an unprecedented leadership in promoting renewable energy technologies, particularly non-carbon based or less carbon based energy technologies, still we have to move forward to address the climate change and strong commitment that we have made in the international level. We have committed to make sure 50% of our energy comes from renewable energy by 2030. I'm sure that's going to be achieved. We are already very close to it. And we want to move towards 500 gigawatts of energy that comes from non-carbon based fuels by 2030. That's also going to be happen. Our detrimental contribution for reducing carbon emission intensity by 45% to the level of 2005. That's going to be achieved. For that we have to work hard because we want to become a decarbonized nation, because most of the industries are carbon intensive energy requirement. So we have to make sure these are all decarbonized. India, with a vast coastal line of more than 7,500 kilometers, holds a tremendous untapped potential of ocean energy resources, which includes wave, tide, thermal and offshore wind and solar energy integrated to harness our energy. Harnessing these resources is critical to meet the national growing energy demand and to address the international commitment that we have made on the climate change. Ocean powers addresses the twin needs for clean power and clean energy, clean power and clean water. There are several ocean technologies. One of the such technology, we call it as ocean thermal energy conversion technologies, simultaneously addresses the need of energy and clean water. NIOT, under the Ministry of Earth Science, has already developed one of the first ocean thermal energy conversion project, which could generate nearly 60 to 65 kilowatts of power and nearly 1 lakh liter of clean water daily, if I'm correct. I think that's about to commission soon. I'm confident that this workshop will be meaningful and strengthen academic and institutional linkages to inspire the next generation ocean power and clean water, where we could look for more scientists, engineers and technologists to come up to untap the ocean energy and to have a clean water for our nation.
We shall now have a video address by Dr. Benu Bor from the UNESCO Regional Office, New Delhi. Dr. Bor continued guidance and support have been instrumental in strengthening UNESCO chair activities aligned with sustainable development and clean energy transitions. May I request everyone to kindly direct their attention to the screen.
It is a great honor to address you at this pioneering workshop on ocean energy and water for sustainable future, potential and challenges 2026. We are living in a decisive decade. Climate change, freshwater scarcity, and rising energy demand are redefining our responsibilities. The solutions we design today will determine the resilience of our societies tomorrow. Increasingly, the answer lies in the ocean. The ocean is not only a climate regulator and a biodiversity reservoir, but also one of the greatest untapped sources of sustainable energy. Let me share a few practical examples showing that this future is already unfolding. In Scotland, the MyGen project has installed seabed-mounted tidal turbines that harness predictable tidal currents to generate electricity. Because tides follow the rhythm of the moon, tidal energy is among the most reliable renewable sources available. Similarly, Orbital Marine Power has developed a floating tidal turbine capable of powering around 2,000 homes. Floating on the surface, its underwater rotors capture the kinetic energy of moving water, essentially functioning like an underwater wind turbine. In India, Lakshadweep is preparing to launch its pioneering OTEC plant in 2026, which will harness the ocean's vast thermal energy to generate sustainable electricity and fresh water, reduce fossil fuel dependence, protect the environment, and showcase how innovation can build climate-resilient, self-sufficient island communities. These examples demonstrate that ocean movement driven by gravitational forces can provide predictable, clean baseload electricity. But the future goes further. Kinetic turbines placed in strong marine currents could form underwater energy farms, generating power for coastal cities with minimal environmental impact. Beyond electricity, the ocean can also generate renewable biomass. A visionary initiative supported by UNESCO in collaboration with the University of New South Wales is exploring floating mangrove forests. Inspired by experimental work in Qatar and now field-tested near Fiji, these platforms cultivate mangroves directly with seawater. Mangroves are salinity tolerant and they produce biomass. In the future, such ocean-grown biomass floating on buoyant modules could be harvested for bioenergy production, making available a carbon-negative pathway while restoring marine ecosystems. At the same time, large-scale seaweed cultivation is emerging globally. Seaweed grows rapidly, requires no fresh water or arable land, and can be processed into biofuels and sustainable materials, offering major opportunities for coastal nations. What unites these examples is a systems perspective, harnessing tidal forces, capturing kinetic ocean energy, integrating ocean thermal energy conversion with desalination, cultivating marine biomass, strengthening the resilient marine infrastructure, and applying artificial intelligence to optimize these systems. This is a technological innovation and a transformation of our relationship with the ocean. For centuries, we treated the ocean as a resource to extract from. The 21st century calls us to treat it as a partner, working with its rhythms and designing regenerative technologies. Workshops like this, aligned with UNESCO's commitment to sustainable development, are essential. They bring together engineers, scientists, policymakers, and young innovators to develop solutions that are both scientifically sound and socially responsible. The young researchers of today are the architects of the future blue economy. Your work may power communities, secure freshwater supplies, and strengthen coastal resilience. India, with its long coastline and scientific excellence, has enormous potential to lead in ocean-based sustainability solutions. Let this workshop inspire bold and responsible energy pilot projects. The ocean holds vast energy. Our responsibility is to unlock it wisely. Let me recognize Professor Ramaswamy Arun Prasad's remarkable efforts under UNESCO shareholder initiatives, fostering renewable and clean energy solutions that illuminate the path toward a sustainable world with clean water and resilient communities. May your discussions be forward-looking, your partnerships enduring, and your innovations contribute to a sustainable ocean future for India and the world. With my very best wishes for a successful workshop.
We established our excellence in different areas of green energy technology, bioenergy technology, batteries and storage devices, photovoltaic, green hydrogen, sustainable materials, solar thermal technology, organic solar cells, wind energy. However, the ocean technology, which is a very important part of green energy technology, that is a missing element in our research area. I hope this conference will give a way to integrate with the ocean scientists, with our department, and we can make something valuable for the future of the country, as well as for training the students of Pondicherry University. We are putting a lot of effort to reduce the carbon emission, to save the global warming, which is adversely affecting the Earth as well as the future generation. However, at this point, we are standing in a crisis that is created by the human greeds. We have everything for our need, but nothing can satisfy our greed. That is creating war, and it is leading to huge amount of emission. Per day in East Asia now, war is emitting 7,000 tons of carbon. Madan Singh ji has a vision to unite the South Asian countries together through academic education and bring peace into this region. So that is a very important point for achieving the goals of reducing emission. Peace and integrity and inclusiveness is the important part of the mission towards reducing carbon emission and saving the earth and the future generation. With this note, I thank you all for coming to Pondicherry University and participating in this one-day workshop. I wish you all success for this conference.
I'm really sure a lot of our resource students and engineers and technology students of the future will benefit immensely. As we know, I just wanted to have from my side a small correction to this title. Ocean, energy, water, because ocean has a lot to offer for sustainability and energy, not only as energy on sustainability aspect and the economy as well. As we know, sustainability aspect is energy access is one of the key aspect of it. Today's scenario is contrastingly staring on us because of lack of energy access and energy security. We were in a very tough situations worldwide. So when we go for energy access, we beat or we undermine the sustainability aspect of it. That's by exploiting a lot of fossil fuels and emission accompanied by that. All of us are aware that photosynthesis is a huge way of fixing carbon, but remember, the ocean is the huge source of absorbing this carbon as a sink and having a very good carbon cycle in the world. Despite this nature's gift of carbon cycle, we extremely emit carbon to spoil our planet Earth. I think this deliberations organized by our department, Green Energy Technology, will dwell on all aspects of energy sustainability related to ocean technology, and it will throw a lot of research directions and opportunities for students to explore. We have been gifted with a huge coastal line and lot of wind resource, but amount of economy and the energy we tap from these ocean resources are not up to the potential which it has. Fortunately, our technology is on the rise. We will be having a lot of offshore energy access programs, and also the blue economy is also booming up with time. Both politics and the economy related to the sea is booming up. We can tap. This means all our students have a lot of opportunity for employment and the entrepreneurship around this. So without much delay, I congratulate the department for facilitating such an event to the benefit of the students as well as the participant. I thank all those who have taken time to participate in this event. I wish you will get a wonderful day of knowledge flow from all the resource persons. I particularly thank the resource person under the leadership of Dr. Venkateshan, assembled here to benefit our students. Thank you all. Thank Jai Hind.
Green Energy Department is, I don't know whether students understand the importance of this department. So it is taking a lot of importance due to the energy demand and even the political situations and the war. All those things, make your department very important department. So otherwise also, we cannot run any country without discussing about energy. Any central government, their main target is how to run country with the importing enough oil, because India is the highly that is the number of this population wise highly population in India, and also we are growing economy, and our GDP is also per capita GDP also increasing. So the energy demand also increasing. So feeding a country like us by the government through oil import it is not very easy. So the agenda for any central government comes, especially the external affairs minister, it is the main tension for him is how to bring enough oil. And I don't know whether the students know this, where we are storing the imported crude oil, how they are storing this, how many days we are storing this, what are the precautions government is taking, all are your field only. This is one area where oil. Other than this, coal, that is different scenario. Then the gas, that is another field. So other than this, these are all major fields. Other than this, like the UNESCO share is concentrating on nuclear energy, ocean energy, then the tidal energy, then the solar energy. All those things are, if you closely see this, all these fields are very, very early stage, technology-wise. You can do wonder in this field as a researcher. It is not like very established field. Even if you take the solar energy, the percentage of conversion is very less. You can do wonder on this. So even the world is looking at it as the challenge, but for you it is the opportunity. So there is no dearth of either a job or a startup. You can do if you understand all this problem. The energy politics. If you start writing an article about energy politics, it is well taken because you are eligible to know about the data. Their main goal, ultimately, they are giving the data about ecology, environment, everything. But ultimately, if you are doing best, then that is their real agenda, real aim. That is their expectation indirectly. They need energy-related, the environmental pollution, that is ecology disturbance, energy-related is I think more than, it must be 70%, correct, sir? So you can understand the importance of these, and everywhere it relates to physics, it relates to chemistry, the science, politics, economics. Everywhere they need your footprint. So you don't think that it is a M.Tech or B.Tech degree, and it is a multidisciplinary degree. So you should learn all those things. So in keeping those things in mind, I think the UNESCO chair is understanding the need of this. You cannot get this type of workshops anywhere other than if you go to any other places. The Green Energy Technology Department itself is a novel idea, and bringing all energy related the issues and discussing in one platform, and also coming out of the solutions. So you are also eligible to talk about what is the government policy on this, whether it's ocean energy or whether it is the nuclear energy. You are the person only concentrating on technology. So please read, as a citizen, because your field is directly related to the life on earth. Without your field, wherever you go, without your field, it is we cannot lead that much challenges are there because the energy demand is increasing. At the same time, the source is now restricted. So all those things brings the very good platform for all the students. So started write about this any of the topic in the article, in a newspaper article. Then you will understand the importance of your field in whatever the technology you are trying to do. But if you know the background of this only, your objective will be very clear.
This workshop is under the theme Samudra Shakti, Sustainable Seas through Advanced Desalination Technologies. Today, the world is facing three critical issues. One thing is energy. The United Nations designated in 1993 to raise the global awareness about the importance of the freshwater, highlighting the water scarcity and the pollution, and inspire the action of Sustainable Development Goals, water and sanitation. This year, the World Water Day theme is water and gender. That means it emphasizes the safe drinking water and sanitation for all the fundamental human rights, irrespective of the gender, and directly contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals of 5, 6, and 7. So, this is just to know that the water and energy are all more important, and we need to generate water and energy in a sustainable manner without affecting the environment. நீர் இன்று அமையாது உலகெனில் யார் யாருக்கும் வானின்றி அமையாது ஒழுக்கு. திருவள்ளுவர் சொல்லிக்கிறாரு. தண்ணீரின் முக்கியத்துவம் தெரிந்ததால் மட்டுமே, இன்றியாமை அங்கு புரிந்ததால் மட்டுமே கடவுள் வாழ்த்துக்கு அப்புறமாட்டி வான் சிறப்பு என்ற அதிகாரத்தை வைத்து தண்ணீரின் முக்கியத்தையும் எரிவாயுவின் முக்கியத்தையும் சொல்லியிருக்கிறாரு. ஒரு மனிதன் முழு வாழ்வதற்கு தேவையான 3 பொருட்கள்: உடை, உணவு அண்டு உறைவிடம். தண்ணீர் இல்லை என்றால் விவசாயம் கிடையாது, விவசாயம் இல்லை என்றால் தண்ணீர் இல்லை என்றால் விவசாயமும் கிடையாது. ஸோ தாயை பழித்தாலும் தண்ணீரை பழிக்காதே, பணத்தை வந்து தண்ணீராக செலவு பண்ணுறான்னு சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. பிகாஸ் ஆல் திஸ் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் தி வாட்டர். ஸோ வி நீட் டு ஜென்ரேட் சஃபிஷியன்ட் அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் வாட்டர் மீன்ஸ் we require a large amount of energy also. So during this time, before 2 weeks back, our Honorable Minister of Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, visited the Kavaratti Island to review some of the programs of low temperature thermal desalination and solar and hybrid renewable energy. So he is in the island. Island means all the 4 sides are surrounded by the water. So during his review, he mentioned a famous line written by the English poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge in his book Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Here in 1798, here the speaker is a sailor trapped on a ship in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by the salt water, but unable to drink to quench his thirst. So this phrase deeply resonates deeply. That is why we gather here to know the importance of the ocean energy and water for a sustainable future. So I would also like to say the same phrase that is mentioned by our Honorable Minister of Earth Sciences: water, water everywhere, but not even a drop to drink. So here India is also a peninsular country surrounded by 3 sides of the ocean, and India Earth surface is covered, even though that is what our director told, that even though Earth surface is covered with more than 70% of water, still there is a scarcity of water. And because this salt water is not fit for drinking or human consumptions. Literature shows that nearly 2.5% of the water available on the earth is fresh water, but out of which 0.06 to 0.1% is only available for the human consumption, and remaining water is distributed in ice clays, glaciers, groundwater, and all these things. According to the World Health Organization report, 1 out of every 6 people lacks access to the clean and safe drinking water. And in almost in all the countries, other countries of developed countries also, almost half of the population do not have access to the safe and drinking water. Moreover, the problem is further aggravated due to the existing water bodies diminishing at a faster rate, distinct rules, and poor sanitation method, improper sewage management, contamination of the groundwater by industries are adversely affected the groundwater resources. Hence, both the central government and the state government, including the Pondicherry Union Territory, is also finding a serious way to find the viable solutions in order to have a peaceful survival of the mankind. According to the Frost and Sullivan report, it says that Mumbai-like region, that is coastal plates, most of the populations are there. For Mumbai-like region, during now the present water requirement in Mumbai region is 13,000 MLD. In another 5 years, during 2030, the water requirement is around 25,000 MLD. For Chennai-like region, during 2008, the water requirement is 500 MLD of water. In 2026, now the present water requirement is around 1,500 MLD. It is anticipated that during 2030, the water requirement will be increased by 2 times. That is 30,000 MLD of water. Today, the present requirement of the Chennai-like region is around 1,500, but right now we have the water up to 1,200 MLD of water, including the Tamrabarani water, including the recently commissioned RO plant of 100 MLD capacity at Nemali in ECR Road, and another 100 MLD capacity of Nemali plant and Katupalli village of Minjur. This is the largest desalination plant of India, and the second largest plant is at 96 MLD plant at Bhavnagar in Gujarat. So, there are different sources of drinking water. Some of the possible ways are minimizing the wastages of available water and recycling of used water. There are the ways to minimizing the wastage of water and recycling of used water, but this is good to some extent, but not giving us the permanent solution. Even though the conservation of water can happen naturally by rainwater harvesting, over the past few years there has been a drastic decrease in volume. But these are all the some of the ways to minimizing the wastages of water, but this is not giving us a permanent solution. So we can very well say that development of desalination technology, that is why the desalination technologies are coming. So right now what I told is, there is a water requirement. Since the water requirement is there, energy requirement is also there, but both required without affecting the environment. So what are the ways? So we need to develop a desalination technologies in order to have a technically viable solution, in order to have a peaceful survival of the mankind. But what are the existing desalination technologies available in the market is, there are many desalination technologies available in the market, including the nuclear energy to drive the desalination plant. There are different ways. One is the phase change process, and another thing is non-phase change process. I don't want to go into much detail. So during the phase change process means the water is evaporated, then vapor is generated, and the vapor goes to the condenser to condense. As a result, we are getting the fresh water. In the non-phase change process means it comes under the reverse osmosis. All may be knowing water is passed to a high concentration membrane, so it will be generated a pure water. So the multi-stage flash evaporation, multi-effect desalination, and vapor compression system, all these things to reduce the specific energy consumption of the plant. So in RO process, one of the greatest advantages of the distillation plant that is operating at high temperature is the specific heat transfer area. But countries like Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, where they are the oil producing countries, there the steam is available at a less cost. So there the multi-stage flash evaporation, multi-effect desalination plays a major role, and it seems to be economical. When compared to the countries like well-developed countries like US and all other countries, reverse osmosis plays a major role. What is happening in reverse osmosis? It passes through many membranes like ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, and microfiltration, and finally it goes via nanofiltration and the reverse osmosis to remove the salts particles. So there are, even though there are many desalination technologies, even for our 100 MLD plant of Katupalli village and Minjur, still we are importing the membranes from other countries, including the USA. So, but there are many environmental issues and limitations is there when we are using the other existing desalination technologies that is commercially viable. So we need to develop our own technology to generate sufficient amount of water and use the renewable energy. There are many environmental issues. The impact is deadlier in islands, particularly islands where the environmental issues are there, particularly the coral reef region where the discharge effluents from desalination facility have no access to go into the sea, where they go into the groundwater, groundwater table, where it contaminates the underwater water table itself. Hence, there is a need to develop our own technology, and the National Institute of Ocean Technology felt that it is necessary, and we have developed a low temperature thermal desalination technology where the principle is we know the water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, but the water can also start boils at room temperature provided the pressure is very low. By this way, low temperature thermal desalination were developed by National Institute of Ocean Technology, and we have established a few desalination plants at islands and in the process power plant and in the mainland requirement also. One of the biggest challenge in almost all process industries today face is how to discharge the condenser reject water into the sea without affecting the environment. An efficient way to utilize the condenser reject water into the sea without affecting the environment is simultaneously produce the fresh water, and thereby the hard discharge water we can reduce the temperature, thereby the thermal pollution can also be reduced. National Institute of Ocean Technology has established a low temperature thermal desalination plant at North Chennai Thermal Power Station, and now we are in the process of establishing here at Tuticorin Thermal Power Station. This is as far as the process power plant is concerned. Any process power plant, whether it is an existing power plant or nuclear or new power plant or thermal power plant or nuclear power plant or MRL, Madras Refinery Limited, in all the places, all the process industries required a large amount of seawater in order to bring it a thermally balanced condition. So there, after leaving the discharge, after vapor is condensed by using the condenser, the water is discharged into the sea at a temperature not less than 8 degrees centigrade. In the old plant, we are discharging the water at a temperature not less than 12 degrees centigrade into the sea. So by this plant, by establishing the low temperature thermal desalination very close to the process power plant, we can establish the desalination plant, and all the process power plant, you know, it is required per day 2 mld of DM water. By tweeting this low temperature thermal desalination, we have generated nearly 2 ppm of water, thereby the large amount of chemicals that is directly dumped into the sea can also be reduced. That's about the process power plant. Now when it comes to the mainland, Chennai region, where it requires a large amount of water, there also we have established a desalination plant during 2007. We put all the plant components in a barge. Why we required a platform in the mainland region is, we required all the plant components to be put it in a barge because the deep sea cold water is required for the low temperature thermal desalination to function properly. But in the Chennai region, where the seabed is very gradual, to get a cold deep sea water, we need to go 40 kilometers away from the seashore. So we built a barge platform to house all the plant components. Thereby we towed at the 40 kilometers away from the seashore. There we bought a cold deep sea water of 8 degrees centigrade into the platform at the surface. Thereby we generated 1 million liters of water, and we proved the technology. Now we are in the process of establishing a 10 million liters of water. We already made a detailed project report. Now we are in the for that one, diesel has to be transported from the mainland to the shore. But afterwards we felt that we also required the energy to drive the desalination plant of 1 million liters per second. Now we are in the process of making a detailed project report to make it a self-sustained desalination plant, and also to generate the power using the ocean thermal gradient, and thereby we can transport the energy and as well as water from the site, which is around 40 kilometers away from the seashore, to the shore through the subsea power cable. So that's about the mainland requirement. Now when coming to the island, where the seawater is surrounded all over the place, one of the advantage that lies in the low temperature thermal desalination, particularly establishing in the region like island, if we go a little bit close to the, away from the seashore, we can get a temperature of around 8 degrees. That is approximately 1 kilometer. If we go away from the seashore, we can get a cold water temperature. Thereby, we have established a low temperature thermal desalination almost in all islands, starting from 8 islands. First, we have established at Kavaratti during 2005, and Agathi and Minikai Island we have established during 2007. We have established, and still the plant is functioning very well. Of 1 lakh liter, it almost reached 21 years of successful operational and maintenance. As a research institute, we have established the plant and hand over the plant to the local PWD, local Public Works Department. They are successfully operating the plant, and they, upon seeing the success of those plants, now the plant has been now they gave order to establish another 6 islands in all other islands. So now we also established in all islands of 5 islands of 1.5 lakh liter per day. You can see the indigenous capacity, how we have established the few desalination plant, and before that usage of the water, we can find a large amount of waterborne diseases that is coming. Many people, many doctors have visited their plant, and upon using this water and before using this water, the large number of waterborne diseases has drastically been reduced upon using this water. So that is why the science and technology need to be established and need to be find useful to the public works. Now, we are in the process of establishing the ocean thermal energy conversion plant for the mainland requirements and as well as the process power plant and as well as the island requirements. We have NIOT as a state-of-art facility in the laboratory of 2 kilowatt power generation of closed cycle and 1 kilowatt of power generation by using the open cycle lab. Students may make use of those state of the facility. Students are always welcome to do more and more research and do more amount of experimental setup to do more and more experimental setup, and we also have we can mimic the ocean temperature from the surface sea water and at the deep sea. So recognizing the greenhouse effect and the environmental pollution associated with the conventional energy sources, and due to the limited availability, one cannot be rely always on the fossil fuels. Once there is a need to look after the clean renewable energy sources, that is what our HOD told, that we should not see about the ocean thermal energy conversion. We also need to see about the wind energy, solar energy, and as well as the hydrokinetic turbine and those kind of things. All these plants were established by National Institute of Ocean Technology, and these will be briefed by our scientists that is come to NIOT. So far, the smaller capacity LTD plant has been established, and when we are doing the design for the higher scale capacity, where the challenges are more. So we need to increase the thermal efficiency, we need to see how to increase the gain output ratio, we need to see how to reduce the input and output to be increased, how to increase the thermal efficiency, especially when we are doing the design for the smaller capacity. The designs are very easy because all the plant components are easily available in the market. But when we are particularly using for a higher scale capacity, we need people like young blood like you, students, to come forward to take up more and more projects and more components to find an alternate way to increase the efficiency, also to increases the output and the yield. Your contribution can not only help the National Institute of Ocean Technology or the Pondicherry University, but ultimately it will be useful to the nation itself. That's all about the, I told you about the energy and freshwater group in National Institute of Ocean Technology. Apart from that, we have many groups that is functioning in National Institute of Ocean Technology. I request all the students, if they are interested, I have distributed few brochures of National Institute of Ocean Technology, so you can go through it. And some of the students who are interested in knowing more and more things about the National Institute of Ocean Technology, you can see our website and you can visit our National Institute of Ocean Technology at also to see almost all facilities. Apart from this, we also developing the deep sea technology where the polymetallic noodles like gold, nickel, silver are all lying in the seabed. So we are developing a crawler-based mining machine where it will directly go and sit in the seabed, and it will pump the manganese and nodules, and it will pump to the mothership itself. Like Gaganyaan, where the ISRO is sending the manpower to the moon, we are also going to send the manpower of 3 manpower deep into the sea at a depth of 6 kilometers from the surface of the sea. So to see the viability, and you see what is happening under the sea at 6,000 meter water depth. For that one, the spherical shell of nearly 70 meter titanium shell has been prepared, and almost in the end of this year at 500 meter water depth we are going to test it successfully, and afterwards at the next year we are going to send the manpower at 6,000 meter water depth. Apart from this one, we are also developing a marine sensors and calibration unit. There is a separate unit. Those who are in electrical, electronics and chemical engineering can do more and more research work. And for all these things we required a battery, and how to store the battery, and how to increase the efficiency. So those kind of things are there. For all these things we required a platform or ships of to do any research vessel. Students or university can get the ships at very less cost on rental basis, very less, especially for the students and researchers and the faculty members. They can avail the ships to do any sort of researches or any site of oceanographic surveys. Apart from this, we also having a group called Coastal and Environmental Engineering, where we do the consultancy services and other services and survey for all the oceanographic and bathymetric surveys. So at the outset, I would like to express my appreciation to the convener, Dr. Professor Ramasamy Arun Prasad, who initiated the interactions between NIOT and were instrumental in making this event possible at the university.